you're mute.
Hi everyone. So we are here with Vinayak again, and it's the 24th day of 30 days of React. And here Vinayak has got a couple of ideas. By the way, it's swag time. So for people who are staying till the end, you might be getting swags. So don't forget about that. So listen to the awesome information that Vinayak is going to say, and Vinayak is going to decide on couple of questions, and he is going to be the responsible person who is going to select the next two swags. Oh, it's actually three swags, right? So we have a design swag, we have a developer swag. So if there are any designers out there who wants to do some design work, there is something for you as well. And Vinayak, I'll just let you take over the whole session. Go on. Vinayak, you are muted, by the way. Sorry. You are not muted when you are supposed to be muted, and now you are muted.
Okay. Right. So hi everyone. Hope everyone is excited as I am. So if you guys were here yesterday, so if you've probably seen that we went through setting up TypeScript, how to set up a TypeScript in
you
your
went through
existing,
a lot of trauma.
Yeah, existing JavaScript based React project, or also if you want to set up start new project, then you can basically use a TypeScript template, and you can just get started as well. So we've seen that. Today what we are going to do is we are going to basically go through a little bit more about TypeScript. Really, there is only one thing I want to cover that I couldn't cover yesterday, which
Sure.
is about how to use, there are a few tricks and tips to find out the types for certain things.
Vinayak, should we also pick up the questions from chat as well?
Yeah,
Aditya
sure.
Shinde says, like, sir, JavaScript DOM required for learning React.js.
Yeah, I mean, if you know JavaScript, I mean, that's all really you need. And in terms of TypeScript, it's nothing but JavaScript. So you're not writing anything else. It's completely a JavaScript. That's what you're writing there. The only difference is that everything is strictly typed. So you can't really use ambiguous any variables or anything without any data type. So you have to specify the data type. So you have to, I mean, you don't have to, but that's the whole point of using TypeScript, because it's a type. So TypeScript, so everything is typed.
Awesome. So hey Aditya, hey Codewith Scooby, hey Aman, hey Mudit. Nice meeting you all. And whoever is here, just make some noise. Keep asking questions. Make sure Vinayak answers everything. And then you have to answer Vinayak for the question, what he asks, and you can win the swag. Okay, it is going to be very easy this time. So somehow try to answer a question, and easy wins for you and us. So go on. So Ayush is also here. Hey Ayush. Oh, by the way, I would like to give the second swag to Ayush from yesterday. So we have done that. So yesterday the first one was for, do you remember the name, Vinayak?
I do, but I also, more than that, I did something as well.
I guess it is Tushar Jain. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there seems to be some. Okay, go on.
Sorry, is there any issues?
Nothing. Just the chats. People are very excited, so I would like you to answer those things in the chat as well. So that's the reason I was.
I'll try to check the chat as well, but as you probably guys, everyone knows that I'm not a YouTuber like Praveen. I'm really newbie in this. So
okay, then in that case, I'll abruptly stop you and get you answered.
Yeah. So
Done.
feel free
if that's
to
okay with you.
As well. Yeah, no worries, no problem.
Cool.
So yeah, I think we'll try to make it short as possible.
Yes.
So that's why I did some homework. I did a bit of work already. So it's very basic work that you have seen 100 times. Praveen has been doing that, so there is no need to explain the same thing again. So I just did everything already. So I'm
Cool.
just gonna share the screen. Is it okay now?
Yeah, yeah, go on.
Okay, cool. So
Hey, don't forget,
is it?
zoom in.
Yeah. No, I think let me just check in the YouTube anyway. Hmm. Right. Okay. Yeah, I think it's visible in YouTube. That should be
Cool.
good, I think. I'll zoom in this as well.
Folks, if
So
there is any zooming in problems, please let us know. Let Vinayak
I
know.
think, yeah, so the left side, right side, both are visible. I'll try and zoom in a little bit more. I don't know if that's good. But that should be very easy to see now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So as you can see in the right side, right? So I did some work at the moment. So there is a one text box and there is a click me as well. I'm not gonna click it. Yes, it's just gonna start the something really
Right.
magic.
Sorry, excuse me.
So
Did I cough on the live stream?
no, it's fine. So
Sorry about
other
that.
than this, what I have done is just to make it everything look good and also helps me design things quickly. I installed Chakra UI. So you probably,
Okay,
if you,
this is a new thing for me as well. Yeah, let's go on.
so I think we already been through Chakra UI last time when I did the session. But
No,
if you guys, yeah, we did.
maybe lightly I missed it. No, I don't think so. I don't remember. Okay, I was sleeping in that case.
Yeah, you probably were sleeping, I guess.
Okay, I mean, it's about TypeScript. Why should I listen? Maybe because of
No,
that.
not yesterday. The last time we
Ah,
did streaming. That
exactly. That time. It was
yeah.
long time, bro. It's like if you ask me anything like 2 days ago, I completely forgot. I don't
Right.
even remember
Okay.
what I had for dinner
Cool.
yesterday.
Great. No problem.
Hey, we
So
have Vanshika here. Hey.
I'll quickly show you that as well, just so that just to refresh it anyway. Where is it? Okay. Well, I'll just. So if you just search for Chakra UI, you'll just get it. And if you just click on Get Started, and it's just a simple installation, obviously, just like anything else you install on for React. So if you're using npm, run this. If you're using React, run this. So it has a few libraries that it uses. It uses emotion to do a little bit of like animation kind of things, framer, motion, things like that to do that. So yeah, just install that, and once you install that, I'll you just basically import the Chakra provider from Chakra UI React and just wrap around your app in the Chakra provider, and that's it really. And if you want to extend the themes as well, so you probably seen it. Where is it gone? So you can actually set up a theme and you can customize your themes as well, something like this. So there is a extend theme method that you can use to create your new themes, and then just
Wow.
pass that in your Chakra provider. And then in here you can set up your own branding. So for example, brand is something custom, right? Custom style, where which
Yeah.
is if it is like 100 weighted text or whatever, you use this color, and 900 you use this color, and then you can have different background
But I
colors
don't
and
understand
everything.
what exactly like the 100 and 900 does.
These are like a weight, so
Font
things
weights.
like for your color schemes.
Okay,
So
okay. Oh, I understand. Like
yeah,
if the color is so much cooler, so much
Yeah,
warmer or
so if
something
you're
like that.
using, yeah, exactly, yeah. So if you're
Okay,
using like
cool.
really dark scheme based on that, so it will basically use the set colors as well. I think you have some tools that you can always use. I think I can't remember. Uh,
Vinayak has
they have
actually
some.
become a Londoner. That's why his accent is like this, Aniruddha. He's asking like, why is your accent like this?
Hopefully, you guys can understand. Right, so that's about the chakra. And so if I just really show you what I did here, so if I go to my index, you can see that I did the same thing. So I installed the chakra UI stuff, install, and then you import the chakra provider and the wrapped
What is the Zakra
app
provider?
itself. That's a provider, just like anything. Like for to state, you set up a state provider, right? So
But
for
Chakra is just a
styling,
small like styling thing, right? But why does it?
it's more like a class, style components, as well as it has a little bit of like a framework to support your multi like styled, I don't know what you call, multi theme. So you can set up multiple themes, like cool,
Multi-tenancy?
warm,
Okay.
whatever, and then not tendency, just the themes. So it's everything to do with styling your apps, really. And they do have like a lot of ready to use style components as well. I'll show you as well, because we are using a couple of them as well. So what I did is I installed Chakra UI, and that's about it. And this is what I got on my app. So if I show you what I did here, nothing fancy. I got two state variables. You probably like Praveen has shown you like many times using like dark theme, light theme, and all that kind of things. So I'm just going to do something similar. I just got a variable to say whether it's a dark theme or light theme. And then I got another variable to say whether it's loading. So if the page is loading or refreshing, this will be basically true, or I'll set it to true or something like that. And all I got in here is the flex is again another style component, which basically just a div which is display flex by default. So instead of doing everything, you usually use just flex, and that's all coming from Chakra.
Awesome.
And also styles in Chakra. This is what how you do. Instead of using style equal to blah blah stuff, you have like a styled props for everything. So justify content and everything else. Similarly, you got like a ready to use like center as well. So it's again another div. So if you just hover on this, you can always see what does it gets converted to as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's basically it. So I added a couple of divs, and in there is one component I created, which is custom input. So this is the custom input, which has a input box and a click me button. And if I go ahead and open this up, so you can see there is one input and one button. That's all. So what I wanted to really show is a lot of times it happens that you have an input and you want to use a ref, right, to access that input data or value or whatever that is. So what you usually do in React is you set up a constant input ref and using use ref hook. And what you will do usually is you'll just set up input ref, something like that, right? So as you can see, it doesn't work very well. And the reason, because obviously everything needs to be strictly typed. So in here, we can see that we haven't mentioned the type for it. And if you see in here, it just says it's of type undefined. So the best thing to look at is always just don't enter anything in here, so that the error, that whatever the squeaky thing, that goes to somewhere else. And then if you just hover on the ref, you will see what it says. It's a ref which is optional, and it's basically of type HTML
Okay.
input element. So all you do is like you always look for something like this. So hover on that and just look at the what it
Why does
says.
it say
Just copy.
deprecated?
Which one?
Sorry, a legacy ref.
Yeah, that just basically because of, I think, because of the, what do you call this? Because of Chakra UI, I think that's how they are referring it. Probably It's because of that. Because if you use something like, I'm, I'm guessing it should have something else. So in here, if you see in the standard input HTML input, you will see a little bit different. So it's a React class attribute ref, whereas in that gets mapped to a different type of attribute to inside the Chakra framework. So that's
Okay.
basically way they are referring it. So you don't really need to worry about all those things. This is just purely because of the Chakra UI. But if you are using HTML elements, you will have something like this. But the main thing to look at is this HTML input element,
So it
which
should
is
be
going
the
to be,
input element, the element,
yeah. So
right?
which is going to be the exactly same thing any no matter where, because the end result of this is, you can see input, right? It's the same thing as your standard HTML element. So that's what. So what we do again, usually just like we do always, you mention it in here, and then if you try to, it's still gonna cry. Not cry. It's gonna shout at you. Why would it cry? So now it's not still not happy, and the always best thing to do is, like, if you just hover on this, always look at the error message, but don't try to look at the top one. Always start with the bottom one. That way you'll be able to figure it out really quickly. So that if I see the last one, all it says is like type undefined is not assignable to type HTML input element or null. So it's saying that I'm trying to set undefined to this type. So obviously we have already set it to this type, but we don't have set I haven't set it to null. So usually you think like you need to do something like this,
Or null.
but that's not going to work because we are just telling it's the type is this or null, but it's already by default it's or null in there. But what's not there is like you haven't mentioned the initial value for it, which is why it's undefined. But if I just mention null here, you'll see that it's just gone now. So that way it's all gone. And the best thing why we should do this, right, is because I'll tell you why. So let's just say I added another one, button, and then for button I do the same thing. So if I just go HTML button element, as you can see here,
Okay.
and if I do like this, and if I set it to null as well, and come on, it's so big on my screen, so it's just difficult. I'm fading anywhere. And if I just mention button ref here, so that should be fine, right? So the advantage of doing that and specifying the correct type is because if I just now go to input ref dot current dot, if I do like a value, you'll see that the value types are, because it's an input type, I get a value as date, value as number. So based on the type of my input, I get different things. So I can access that. Whereas in if I try to access the button one, you'll see that I don't get them in here, but I get the attributes or properties that are related to the button. So that way you make sure that the everything, whatever the methods or attributes or whatever are available for the specific inputs or the elements, they are available when you try to access that through the ref. So that's the main advantage, that you will always specify. If I didn't specify anything in here, and if I just mention null like this, it will still work. But now if I try to do ref.current.value, I don't get it, because that's the main thing. So this is why you usually specify the ref as well. And the other thing I wanted to show was also the handle change. So I got this input and then I got a handle change, and handle change is basically a prop. So that's coming from your parent. So if I try to, so that basically handle change, that on change basically has an event passed to it. And if I try to access that in here, right, so I really don't get any IntelliSense, or I don't really get any autocomplete, right? So I don't know what's inside an event. That's how it works in JavaScript. if I do something like again, if I hover on this and say there is a little bit of issue in not issue but difficulty you're going to find is that so on change is basically a React change event handler. So if I change this event any to this, it's still going to cry, not cry, shout again, because again that handler needs to basically return and change, which will return and change event. So this is what we exactly we need instead of using this. So I think the more you use TypeScript, you will figure out these kind of things. So that's one thing about Chakra. But sorry about TypeScript, but that just goes with
TypeScript. Yeah.
anything. That goes with anything because you need to do a little bit of practice to get used to that and get understand much better. So now if I, as I mentioned, the correct type for it. Now if I just do dot event dot, I see literally each and every property or method available in that event. So you think these are the kind of like things, right? So if it was JavaScript, you will struggle to figure out, okay, what type of event it comes back, and then what are the methods available and things like that. So that kind of the TypeScript helps really very well with that, and we don't really have to do any guesswork, but you actually just do what you're supposed to do or what you need to do. So that's one thing. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly show you how to use that trick to find out the types for certain things if we don't know what is the type for it. So that's that. And second thing I wanted to show is what I did about. Let me try. So I added this button, and what I did is on the click of this button, all it does is set the state variable dark to toggles true or false. Yeah. So as you can imagine, it just does what it's supposed to do, change mode. Yeah. So that happens because using a state variable. I did another one, something similar with the set load as well. And what happens if the load it is loading or whatever loading is true? I did is I set up a circular progress bar. So if I just set it to true, you will see what happens. It shows something like this. Please wait. So these kind of things, right? So the dark mode or the light mode and the loading progress bar and things like that, you will use across your application everywhere, right? So at the moment, I'm just using the state variable inside the app component, which is not good because if I want to use the same dark mode or check if it's a dark mode switched on or if something is loading in some other components, then again, I'll have to pass this, which is again, we may end up in like prop drilling problem that we usually get. So, and I just did some trick as well. So just to, you'll see me doing something like this a little bit as well so that it shows it for 2 seconds.
Are
and
these
these
are the ways we can make some kind of like this jugaad kind of a thing or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Noted.
Exactly. So exactly.
We can actually ask this as a question at the end.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find many questions. Don't worry about that. If not, at least we can see how would they understood, and if they understood my accent as well. Hopefully. Right. So the reason behind adding these two things is to do with the next technique or the topic that we are going to cover, which is Redux, right?
Redux.
So there is also another thing, really good or important thing about TypeScript, which is generics. I don't know if you guys know about generics. It's basically without telling what type of the variables coming into a method or to anything, you basically set up it to something like T or something, whatever you want to call it. So we'll try and see if we can cover that at the end if we have time.
Cool.
So reason behind setting these two was basically I want to set this dark mode in. So I want to basically set up two reducers. one reducer for like global things. So for example, like loading or dark or things like that. These are like a global settings that we want to access anywhere in the application, right? So
Right.
that's why I created these two variable state variables, and then we will move them into Redux so that everything is handled in Redux and we can access them anywhere. And then the second reducer we are going to create is something like I'll show you that as well. So second thing I did is this one. I'm just gonna hide this. Oh, it's too big. Let me do it smaller. So yeah, so you can see here what I did is like I just created a list of users, and I got this component created users, and which has like a couple of state variables. One of them is users, list of users, and the second one is just a few sort of like again this use disclosure is it's like a ready hook from Chakra UI to handle your pop-ups. So if I click on here, it shows pop-up, right? So is pop-up open, or to on open the pop-up, or when it's open what to do, or what to do when it's closed, and if you want to toggle the open and close
So this
of this pop-up.
disclosure is only for the pop-up element.
It's not only for pop-up, it's anything to do with like a toggle or on close or on open you
All right.
have,
Superb.
so you can use this. Yeah, is that clear? Yeah,
It is clear.
okay, cool. So
We
yeah,
need to also check the questions from the live stream. Hey, Jay Sadhana is
okay.
here. Kushi is here.
Any
Hey,
questions?
everyone. Yeah. I don't think so. Any questions? If some people were asking about would love to learn Dart. I don't know how Dart is related to React or anything that you are teaching. So if they are related, maybe yes, we can do something. And
Yeah, I mean, there is a really good, but we are not really covering that in this
cool.
topic, to be honest,
Okay.
because
Okay.
Chakra
Let's.
UI has something to do with the dark mode or light
Oh.
mode as well.
Okay.
So it is out of the box and that you can use. And the Chakra UI will, so the provider that we set up initially, that provider will tell you whether dark mode is on or off. And you can set up different things like what to do when it's dark mode, what to do when it's light mode, and things like that. So we'll probably do another session for that anyway. So yeah, so what I got in here is list of users, as we can see here, and then I got these methods to basically handle the pop-up, and then we got the user state variable, which is basically whatever we enter in here, we're just going to store it. So all I got is first name, last name, that's it. So if I do something jibber jabber, you'll see that gets added at the end, right? So it's really simple. Let me hide
Right.
this. So it's
Why is
really
it showing
simple.
this
So I'm
way?
just showing the
Okay.
list,
Mhm.
and I got the users mapped to users, and then it's just going to show
Actually, it
avatar
looks
users.
superb. Yeah, it's
Yeah, and then
really
just
cool.
it's just going to display a name in a heading as a
Mhm.
heading. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing fancy. So what we are going to do is again we are going to move this list of users instead of storing in a state variable here. We are going to move it to Redux state and use a reducer to add new users and get load users and things like that, right? So are we clear up to this point? So that
Any
we
questions,
can.
folks? Happy to answer. No questions yet.
So to install Redux, what we are going to do is we are going to. I already did that. So because I usually did this globally, so that I don't have to do it again and again in my projects. But I do add them in package manage .json. So what you need to do to set up Redux is if you're using yarn add. If you're using npm install. So Redux, which is again standard just a library. React Redux, which supports React, support for the Redux in React. Redux tongue is like a middleware, and Redux React Redux types. So Redux itself, the library is fully supported using in TypeScript, so you don't need to install any different types for it. But for React Redux, you need to install some types.
Okay.
So once you install this, that should be everything you need to do, and you should be good to go. So which I already did. So I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to show you what I did. So what I have here is I just created blank folders, to be honest, nothing much, nothing fancy, uh, called Redux. Inside that, everything is to do with Redux is going to be there. So I'm going to quickly show one diagram. I don't know if everyone knows how Redux works, but
You mean to say that timer thing, counter thing,
no,
something? No. Okay. Okay.
no,
Okay.
this diagram. I don't know, is it visible?
Oh, okay. Okay. No. Wow. Okay. This is the basic diagram how Redux works. The cycle.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah.
So
State
this
cycle.
is how Redux works, right? So you got your React application and
Mhm.
user click on something. It basically triggers an action, but dispatch, which will, that action will basically dispatch
Right.
that action by also passing the, if there is any payload or whatever it needs. There will be middleware if you want to validate any actions or anything like that. And then after that, it's all done, it will be passed to a reducer. Reducer will look at what type of action you're trying to run and update, not update, and basically return a new state using the data that's been passed. And that data comes back, the state doesn't, it comes back to a React application. That's what basically happens. So that's why what I did is like I created a couple of folders. So actions, where we are basically going to set up all the actions. We are also going to set up some types as well. The models are basically all the interfaces that I'm going to use. So as you can see, so I got like a two stores, a global store and user store. So the global store is basically where we are going to store if any actions are loading. For example, if you are doing some API calls, so which can take some time. So
Yeah.
in that case, we may want to switch on the loading flag so that it shows that progress bar. And if you have dark mode on as well, so they both are Boolean, and we are going to store that in global store. And then we got a user store where we basically all we are going to store is list of users. So this list will be stored in there. And as you can see, users is basically an array of user, and user has first name and last name. That's it. It's really basic. And then we are going to set up reducers for them. And in here, what I got is basically, I'll just disable, uncomment this.
Ayush knows me well. Yeah, I love npm than yarn. Okay, being a cat, I should love yarn. That's a different story. But like Facebook privacy, I don't know. Like yarn is a bit tough for me for some reason. npm, it has every
I guess
command
it's
clear.
yeah. I think it's fine. I mean, there is. I didn't find much difference other than the
No, there is
performance,
there is
or
one
it's a little
good
bit
news about
faster.
yarn.
Mhm.
Yarn has some good features which npm lacks. For example, you have recursive update of all the packages and stuff like that, but npm doesn't have it,
Okay. Okay.
unfortunately.
Mhm.
And people say like yarn is much faster than npm as well, but
Yeah,
okay, I'll stick with the npm.
it's faster and little lightweight. That's why it's a little
Yeah,
bit faster, I guess. But yeah, I guess we can try and discuss that in another session as well, if anyone wants that as well. But
definitely.
okay, so what I'm going to do is like as I said, I already wrote some code. So and they're all basic code, so it'll be very easy to go. And I don't really want to bore everyone by typing slowly because my typing is really slow. So I'm just going to start copy pasting
Okay,
things that
you're
every developer
allowed.
loves doing. So as you can see, I just added in actions, I created a global folder, and inside that I got two files. So every actions folder. So I'm just going to create one folder for each type of actions or the state store. And inside that, we are going to have actions file and then action types file. So if I just show you action types file, so what we are going to do here is like, since this is a global action, so the possible actions that we are going to have is set loading, which is basically going to set the loading progress bar to true, so it's going to show that loading. Reset loading, which is basically going to hide that progress bar. And then the set dark mode, so to set whether it's a dark mode on or not. So you can see here I created interfaces for each of these types or the constants really. Uh, which is which and this is where we basically like define the syntax or the define the structure of that action. So
Right.
for loading set well, to load the progress bar, all we need is just call this type and that's it. We don't need to pass anything else. And to reset it, we again same thing, we don't need to pass anything data. And to set the dark mode, we need to pass whether it's a dark true or false. So that's why we have this boolean type in here, right? And then I'm just going to pass that as a new type. So we set up these interfaces and I'm just going to set up a new type called global dispatch types. And that type is basically is going to be either of one of these three things. So the global dispatch type could be to set the loading, reset the loading, or to set the dark mode.
Right.
Is that clear up to here? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm being silent. I'm not in the screen right now. So
Okay.
yes, everything is clear, and
Okay,
I'm
cool.
also looking at the questions as well. No questions so
Okay,
far.
cool. And then in the actions file, what I got is I imported dispatch from Redux. So this is where we basically set up all the actions, and we are just going to call these actions, which is basically going to dispatch the type of action to the reducer. That's what it's going to do. So as you can see here, I got set loader, reset loader, and set dark mode. These are the three actions I got in here. And since it's since it's TypeScript, we see a little bit more code than the JavaScript because we have to specify the type for everything. But you will see the why we should do that, and you will see the benefits of that as well very soon. So all I'm doing is the set loader is a function which basically dispatches the global dispatch type. And inside that, what I'm going to do is dispatch the type loading set. Okay. And if there is any error, we really don't need this. I don't know why I left it here, but I'm just going to get rid of this. Yeah. So all I'm doing in here is to, whenever we call a set loader function, I'm going to dispatch a loading set type of action, and the reducer will basically set that loading to true or to true. Similarly, in here we got the reset loader, which is dispatches the loading reset action, and the reducer will set it to false. Similarly, in here I got a set dark mode function, which takes an parameter dark, which is of type boolean, and it's going to call the set dark mode. And the benefit of using TypeScript is, like, if you see as soon as you say dispatch type, and if you just use control space, command space, control space.
No, not command space. It's control space.
Yeah, control space. You will see the type of things that are supported in here. So as soon as I say I want to call this type, right, and then comma, and then I do something like here, you'll see that it's telling me that I need to pass this dark mode as well. And if I don't pass it, it's going to shout at you as well, obviously.
Perfect.
So when you see and then see, you'll say it's assignable to here, but dark is missing. So that's why you do.
A lot of people will not understand the thing, so that's also there.
Yeah, exactly. So if one of your teammates are using this dispatch, and then or setting up the dispatch, and they don't know what to pass, so TypeScript will basically help them to know what we need to pass. Yeah. And if you see in here, similarly, right, in here, you don't get that because this type of action doesn't need any parameters passing.
Wow. Okay.
So that's one of the
But why are you using trailing commas? I hate it.
Yeah, I'm just used to it. I know. I try to forget not to do that, but it just, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I have to put that comma, semicolon in the end for some reason, and the commas whenever I'm displaying in here or something. But sometimes it's okay, but most of the times you'll see that I add a comma in the end as well. I don't know. Does it make any difference if it is an array or something like this?
No, but kind of like, why do we have some kind of a weed there? Weeds, No
I
need of
don't know.
things.
But anyways,
Go
so
on, go
yeah,
on.
this is the actions, right? So the second thing I'm going to copy is the reducer. So the reducer is going to be really straightforward. Reducer. So we got the reducer, and let's see what's inside the reducer. So don't worry about these imports, because as soon as you start adding these things in down here, you'll auto import all these imports as well, whatever you need. So we don't need to worry about that. So what I'm doing here is, as you know, like reducer needs a like initial state, right? So this is what I'm doing in here. I'm just setting an initial state called globals of type global store. And as you know, the global store has loading and dark, these two flags in it, and I'm just setting them to false by default. And in here, I'm just setting up the reducer, which takes a state which is of iGlobal store, and the initial value for that is this. And the actions which are available is global dispatch, which basically one of these three things. So that's the my reducer. And then on whenever the action is called, it will be passed to a reducer, and then we are basically switching between that. And as soon as you see the type, you will immediately see the types that are going to come in here. So you don't need to really do any guesswork. Because of the TypeScript, you will be able to see what's exactly going to be passed in types and everything else. So even here, right, if I'm doing loading set, and if I try to do something like action dot.
No, that is wrong. You need to do
No, that is fine. But what I'm doing is
action colon action dot wrong. Something like no.
no, I'm,
It's an object, bro.
I know.
Dark. No.
No, what I was going to show was I was going to I'll show you in here, because there is nothing we are passing to
Okay.
this
Loading set
type.
doesn't have anything else.
Yeah, so exactly, we
set
don't see
dark
anything
mode
in
has
here,
another
right?
one. Yeah.
But if I did something like here, and
it shows dark, right?
Yeah, if I do again control space, you'll see that that state has two things, as we already know.
Yeah.
And if I set dark and say action dot, you'll see that it's dark is already available there, because we are because this is a case
Interface
for
is
the
saying
set
like
dark
that.
score. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it already knows that you are supposed to pass dark.
Perfect.
So you can easily access that, and you don't need to worry about like parsing it as a boolean or anything like conversions and all. You don't need to worry about that. And all you do is like again return the state if none of these are called, which we really don't need it, but that's just default. And then I'm just exporting it. And then after that, what I did is I just created a store.ts, and I can delete this, uncomment this. Okay, I haven't set up the root reducer yet as well. Okay, that's right. So I'm just going to copy another thing in reducers, because we are going to set up multiple reducers. So what I'm doing is like I'm setting up a root reducer, which is going to accept different types. So again, ignore this, which will come in very soon, and ignore this. So all I'm doing is there is a combined reducers method in Redux. So you can use that to combine multiple reducers into one reducer, and you can give them each reducer as a name, and you'll see why we do that and the benefit of using that as well if you don't know anything about Redux. So that's all I'm doing in here. I'm just combining these different reducers. So far we got only global, but we will have a user reducer as well. And I just export that root reducer in here. And then if I go to my store, so here what I'm doing is like creating a store. So again, you use a create store from Redux, which takes a reducer, and if there is any middleware that we're using. So since we are using middleware, which is called Redux thumb, which will help to handle the async calls to your dispatch methods and all.
Thunk again. Unit testing is going to be a nightmare when we are using Thunk.
No, it'll be fine. But we are not doing any unit testing. But if we want to cover, it'll be fine. We don't need to worry about that. So that's all we are doing. We are just creating a store by passing our root reducer, which is going to have everything inside it, and we are setting up the middleware. And then I'm just setting up a root store. Just again, I'm just setting up a type because, as you know, we are using TypeScript, so everything has to have a type. So what we are saying is like I'm just creating a new type of named root store, and the return type for that is type of root reducer, and that's it. And I'm just exporting that store, and then what I do is I go to app.js, and again I'm just going to copy that. I don't want to type again. Is there any questions, or are we good for now?
No questions. Just people are watching it.
Cool. So
folks, whoever is there, just make some noise. Say something.
Yeah, I don't know why this store is crying. I'm just going to close it and open again. Is it? I'm just trying to import
hey,
that
Anjali,
again.
hey, Himanshu. Okay, just get ready for the swag time. It is going to be very soon. Vinayak, we need to quicken up. And
right,
yeah, nice positive messages from the people out there. Everything is clear. So carry on.
Great. So all I'm doing here is I'm just wrapping the app again inside the provider, which is going to be our Redux provider, the provider from Redux. And the store is going to be the store that we just set it up. And that's it. We don't need to do anything else. And that's all. And what I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to go to my app.js. And I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to copy something, and I'm going to show you what is it.
Anjali Chauhan is here. She's asking what's going on. Would you like to give a one-liner, Vinayak?
So we are basically learning how to use TypeScript, but also we are learning how to use Redux as well, how to set up a Redux using TypeScript. So yesterday we covered how to set up TypeScript in your new React project, or how to set it up in your existing React project, which is using JavaScript. So you can start writing your code in TypeScript as well. So what I did in here is I just disabled our state variables, and I use dispatch from use dispatch, which is again hook from Redux, and that dispatch can be used to dispatch these different actions. And in here you can see you select again another hook from Redux, which basically takes a state of type root store that we set it up before. And if you see in here, we will at the moment we can see only global, but when we add another one for users, we will see the user state as well, a store as well, and that's basically it. And when we do this, we should be able to destructure the things that are coming in from the global state store. So the things that we're getting is dark and loading, right? And I just changed this button as well, so that what's happening, instead of updating the state variable, all I'm doing is calling a dispatch method, and I'm just calling the action set dark mode, and then sending a dark, the opposite of dark, so whatever the dark coming from your store. So again, this everything else is as it is. So if we just refresh, hopefully that should work. But
Wow.
the difference is that it's coming
We
from
can't
the
see any text.
Redux.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's because that's another
Let's
good
blame
point as
Chakra.
well, right? That's
Simple.
good point because this is another different component, right?
Okay.
So
They have
uh,
a transparent background. That's the problem.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Hey,
but
can we try the add user once?
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
What you want to?
Okay.
You
Fine.
mean
Fine. Fine.
dark mode?
Yeah, it's not working with
No,
dark mode. Okay, that's
it's
fine.
not
That's fine.
because the thing is like this is a separate component, right?
Okay.
So we are not passing the dark mode. Now that we got the store set up, we can actually pass the dark mode in, well, access the dark mode in or the global store in here as well, and we can check and we can load the different styles depending on dark or whatever.
Got it.
So that's it. So quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the same thing for our user store as well, so that we'll try and finish everything quickly. So I'm just adding the users, and then I need a reducer for that. That's it. All we need. So
Cool.
I'll just quickly go through what I added. So I added again another action types for
Mm-hmm.
add user, and all it has is like it just returns. It just calls the add user action and passes the user of iUser, and I'm just setting up a new type called user dispatch type, which is basically add user. And then actions, I have a function which takes an user. So if I remove this, which takes an user and it dispatches an action of add user and passes the user. And then I got the reducer, which basically, so it's basically another reducer as we have seen before. I'm setting up an initial state for that. All it has is a users list and it's a blank array. And then in here, we are just going to pass the user to add user method. And it's going to return all the users from state plus the newly provided user. And that's it. And I'm going to root reducer. So now I can do something like this. And then if I go to my component users, so I'm just going to replace same thing again, everything in here except this one. I'm just going to use this.
Dispatch.
So that's it. And
Okay, we need to remove dispatch.
no, that's fine. I'm just going to use that
it's,
as well.
Just
so
yeah, just a hook. Okay.
yeah. So what I'm going to do is and I'm just going to update this quickly. Come on, fast.
Right.
I'm just going to update this. So previously what we had was, come on. So I'll just quickly go through what I did in here. So like before, we replaced all these state variables using our Redux state. So I'm just calling, just like before, I'm just using use selector hook and then which takes a root store. And from
Right.
that, I don't really want to access anything else. I just want to access only the users.
Mhm.
So if I just did something, come on, you can see that we got these two stores now. And in
Got it.
here, we are just going to use user store in this component. So we can
Mhm.
choose whatever store we want so that we don't have to share everything in here. And
Okay.
the set user, again, it's the same thing. There is no difference in there. And then on click of save, all I'm doing
Right.
is I'm just dispatching a set loader so that I'm telling that, okay, can you show the progress bar, and then add user, and then basically close the model pop-up, and then dispatch reset loader as well. So now if hopefully
Perfect.
it should all work. So as you can see, it's all clear because our in state we don't have any users. And if I
Yes.
click here and if I add myself and press save, you'll see it's trying to pretend that it's taking too long
Because we are,
and showing.
but you haven't given any timer here, so it means it is just 4 milliseconds, right? That is the default time.
No, I just gave
Okay,
two
you gave
seconds
here.
in
Okay,
here.
okay.
Yeah. So I'm just just to show that we can. This is what
Perfect.
we basically trying to achieve. So this will be a really common case that we will have in many applications that we develop, right? So we will
Mhm.
be calling some API
Actually,
and we want to wait.
I've got a
So
better
this
idea
is a
for
good thing
this.
as well.
I've got
Hmm.
a better idea for this, but that will be another live stream. It takes
Yeah.
a whole live stream to show what we can
Hmm.
do. So, with respect to Ajax calls and trying to simulate
No, no,
slow
yeah, I know. I
applications.
mean, this is just a test.
Got it.
So we can set up something globally so that every time you're doing some sort of Ajax calls or some sort of fetch or XU or whatever, you
Mhm.
can set up that that by default
The
it
delay.
accepts, and
Okay.
yeah, it will basically handle the progress bar automatically, so you don't have to do that. But the whole idea of doing this was basically just to show that this is how the applications work, but we are just trying to sort of like I don't know, reproduce that feeling of getting data from somewhere. That's it. So that's pretty much it. I know it was a little bit faster, but what we will do is like at the end, I'll push all the code to get so that we can everyone can access this code and they can go
Yeah,
through the
sure.
whole thing as well. So that'll
Would you
be
like
very
to
fun.
send them over to me so that I can post it them here quickly and also add the description part as well? Hey,
Sure.
Creative JE, is it buffering? Is it buffering, folks?
Is it buffering? I
It's
don't know.
cool. I don't know.
I don't think so. Right. Okay. So that was all I wanted to show. There is another thing, as I mentioned, about the generics. I don't know if you guys want to go through that as well, or should we just leave up to
Okay, we
this?
can ask everyone here.
Okay.
Should we
If
go
anyone says
for
they want to see,
generics
yeah.
now, or maybe should we do another tomorrow? What should we do?
I don't know. I mean, it's not a lot. It's just
Should we do a third session as well? That would be interesting. What
yeah.
say? So we'll give the choice to the viewers. So there are like around 10 people here, folks. Should we do the generics today, or do you want a session? I mean, today is not possible, bro, because it's already 5 and
Yeah.
already 10:30 there. So
Yeah.
we have.
Instead of 45 minutes, we took
Oh,
1 hour
it
now.
says no data. Yikes. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's back. Cool. I don't know what's happening.
I mean, I can see the YouTube. It's running fine.
No, I can see here it says no data for some reason. I don't know what happened. It
Right.
just
Okay.
yeah,
I don't
okay.
know.
Cool. So we should be getting some answers from them soon. Okay, so tomorrow from Himanshu. Anyone else? So if we get 3 tomorrows, maybe we will do tomorrow another session with you, Vinayak.
Mhm.
How does that sound?
So, should we do some other day if it's okay, or
Yeah,
do we
that
have
works
only
as well.
tomorrow
So
free?
so do you need another session or
Yeah. another session.
A
Yeah,
lot of
so I
people
can.
are saying next session tomorrow now.
Yeah, yeah. Tomorrow or any other day. I think any other day would be
Okay,
really
think
good.
about tomorrow, right? Okay, just give a um, let me know by the end of the day today, UK time, and uh, we'll do something tomorrow or maybe another day. Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
everyone is asking for tomorrow, bro.
Okay. All
You
right. No
got a lot of
worries.
fans now.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's do it tomorrow then.
swag time, swag time, swag time.
Okay.
Ask a question
So.
and let them answer.
Okay.
We'll give at least half an hour time this time because even I feel somewhat kind of like a um, yeah, maybe we should
Okay.
give more time. So
Okay.
let's do this.
Right.
What question you are gonna ask?
Ah, well,
Or is there anyone from the viewers wanna ask a question and someone else want to answer?
yeah, let's just
Asking an
see if
awesome question will get us swag.
that's good as
Even that
well.
we need to
That will be fine.
respect.
Yeah, exactly, because that takes some something as well
Some
to
courage.
ask a to ask a good question. While we are doing that, I'll just try to set up the GitHub repo as well.
Also, and send me the link too so that I can share it with others.
Sure. Cool. Oh. Any questions? No.
Um. Oh, there is Shakti Vishwakarma asking one question. Hey, remember me? Uh, uh, no, not sure, Shakti.
Oh, come on.
This is an embarrassing situation. If I know him before, but now I forgot. I'm
What is that?
actually remembering only biryani at this moment because I haven't had my lunch yet. Hey, so yes, it's time for swag. We need a nice question.
Okay.
Anyone, any good question, or else like let's leave it to Vinayak. Vinayak, you ask a good question, let them answer it, and then we'll give a swag to them. I wanted to like tell the swag people today, right? Like so, Tushar Jain gets the first swag, and Ayush
Okay. We'll
Tamara
just
gets the second one. So
we'll ask simple. We'll ask simple question, right?
done.
We'll ask two questions, and whoever answers the first three answers will be accepted. Should we do that?
First three answers, okay.
Yeah. So the first question is why we should use Redux,
Why we should use Redux?
and the second question is something related as well. That what's the difference between using Redux and context API using hooks?
Cool. Okay. Wait. There is a question actually from Aniruddha.
Mm-hmm.
What action and states are held together? I don't understand the question, but
I don't understand either.
Aniruddha, do you
What
want to like
action?
reform application state management? Right. Why we should use Redux application state management?
Come on, that's that everyone knows that. But why
Why?
instead of doing anything else, why we should use Redux? Everyone knows that it's a little bit more boilerplate. It has to set up things like that. So
Vinayak, should I stop screen sharing or do you still need it?
yeah, we can stop that, and so we can see
Okay, cool.
ourselves a little bit bigger.
Done. Redux is good for the UI. Not exactly.
Not sure.
Okay, for what you use disclosure for toggle.
So use disclosure is another hook which provides not an exactly hook, but it has different hooks inside provided by Chakra UI. So they are basically things like if you have like I used it for pop-up, right? I'm just trying to think what other application we can use that for. So it could be something like what is that accordion? I think it's called the collapse
Yeah,
and
collapse
yeah.
accordion.
So things like that. So anything like that where you have like a open close state or anything like which can have some actions to close on something you want to do on close or when something you want to run on when it's open. So that are kind of things like it provides out of the box. So you don't need to do anything like, for example, you don't need to maintain a flag to set the pop-up open or closed. You just basically have that from there from Chakra UI, and all you do is like you use the those on toggle, on
Okay.
close, on open methods or hooks.
I hope that was clear. Okay, Aniruddha has a answer. Cut down on unnecessary re-renders. And Shakti Vishwakarma says, is Redux going to good to start for beginners in web development? You're just so cool. I can't believe you are 14 years senior than me. Shakti, I guess Shakti, I'm not sure. Is he talking to you or me? I don't remember Shakti. Okay, it is you.
Do we need to ask who is cooler here?
Who's cooler, Shakti and okay? Who's cooler? Everyone say this. It's a war between me and Vinayak. A war between JavaScript and TypeScript. A war between open source and Microsoft.
Right. Okay. If you ask if you ask between JavaScript and TypeScript, I'm gonna say TypeScript.
let's see who is cool. Who's cooler? Okay.
Okay. So just to answer that first question, right? Is Redux good to start for beginners? I mean, because I used to think like it's a bit complicated when I looked at first time, but more I looked at it, more I stared at it, it just became more easier. So I wouldn't say it's not for beginners, but definitely you don't want to start from there. You would probably want to start using Context API or React hooks and see how they work. And once you get good understanding of that, then you probably start using Redux as well. Redux is good. It's like, just like I showed you, like if you have like multiple stores and you want to share specific stores in specific components and things like that, access specific share stores in components. So things like that, I think it's good to use Redux. In Context API as well, it's fine, but I think Redux works much better. I think in Context API, you have to use that inside a component, right? I think you can't use it outside component. That's one of the things, limitations about Context API. I think you can get that to work using Redux.
Nice. Vinayak, there are a lot of fans for me as well as some fans for you, like 50-50 share. I want to give one swag to one of them, and would you like to give one swag to one of them as well? Like look at the chat.
I think Anirudh, definitely Shakti asked a good question, so Shakti will definitely get one.
Superb. Yeah. Congrats, Shakti. And
Ayush got one yesterday, right?
Ayush got one yesterday. Yeah. Yes.
So yeah. And then what's the next question? Obviously, Shakti, you said I'm cool as well. So obviously, I don't know if Praveen can give him two.
One swag then. Okay, one swag for both cool as well as the good question he asked.
And then so what Anirudh says can reduce complexity of program. Which
and can cut down on unnecessary re-renders.
Yeah, that's a good answer as well.
Okay, so Aniruddha also gets one.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so both of you, I guess for the whole thing, like for the whole stuff, I guess there are 4 swag winners now, which is cool. Number 1 is Tushar Jain. 2, Ayush Tamra. 3, Aniruddha Kurhade. And number 4 is Shakti Vishwakarma.
Yeah.
And yes, so there are some hidden swags as well. I'll give it to one of the person here. So I'll say why and when later, or else I'll not say. So there are 5 swags now. We have given 5 swags to others. So whoever is the swag winner, 4 of them who are in public. So please come and message me on LinkedIn or any other place. So this is my connect with me. And
I don't think you need to give your details. I think if they just Google you and they should be able to find everything about you.
I mean, like that's there. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's there as well. But yes, I just messed up something. So sorry about that. So sorry, folks. It's still up, still up, still up, still up. My hands are literally shivering right now because I did not have any. I didn't have food, so it's crazy.
Okay.
Cool. So Jivtesh says, "Give me swags." Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Tell us a joke.
Tell us a joke. Cool. Fifth swag. Tell us a joke.
It has to be about JavaScript.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
It has to relate to JavaScript, TypeScript, or if you want to make fun, then make fun of Angular.
Yeah, we are happy to be made fun of, so that's completely fine.
Yeah.
Actually, you can make fun of this crazy thing which just happened. Like it went to the end screen and then, hey, come back, we are still here.
Cool.
Thank you, Aniruddha and Shakti and Ayush.
Cool.
Why do JavaScript wear glasses? Hey, dude, this is one of the oldest one. I can't give swag for this because they can't see sharp. Get lost. No. Noobs be like, samajh nahi aaya, but sunke acha laga. Vinayak, you have to translate it for me.
I don't know what he's talking about, but it's basically just saying that,
Bro, Shakti is again getting a swag. I mean, like he already got a swag. So true into true is true. That's it. So one swag for him. That was a nice joke, actually. No one. 12th class student. I'm going to hack the Google server through HTML.
That's a good one.
I'm going to murder you through something was there, right? Like it is similar to that.
Yeah. So
don't trust JavaScript programmers, dude. No swag for you. Get lost. Go over हमारी comedy
JavaScript programmers. Okay.
हम अमर हैं
means we are like mortal.
Okay.
Cool. I think we have.
We have 4 swag winners. So speak to me and get your swags and enjoy your day. So
cool.
Jivtesh.
So tomorrow we'll go through that generics.
Tomorrow we'll go through
we'll
generics.
Look at a couple of other things, how to extend interfaces as well, which is another good cool. Feature in TypeScript.
In TypeScript. Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
They are very good use of it. I'm sure everyone agree to that. So
definitely. Yep. Super. So so Jivtesh, just you're trying a lot, man. Please contact me at least for that effort. I'm gonna give you something.
Exactly. True.
Yeah. So great. Thanks a lot. And I could see even Vedant is watching it here. Vedant, why are you not making any sounds? You're just making sounds on WhatsApp. All right. So, bro, repo code. Sorry, repo link.
Yeah. I forgot. Cool. I'll do that.
Got it. Let me know where you are sending.
Yeah, I just need to commit. Give me 1 second.
If you have the repo link, just send it over. Later, you can commit it.
Yeah, right? Exactly. I'm going to do that.
So that I'll send it to them right away. Hey, WhatsApp group. Aniruddha, which WhatsApp group you are telling about, man? I'm a part of like hundreds of WhatsApp groups. Hey, Vedant is here. Finally, the legend spoke.
So I just copy that in live chat, but feel free.
No, you can't put it in the live chat. That's the problem. There is some kind of crazy restriction from YouTube. So can you please send it over to me in WhatsApp? Where?
Oh, in WhatsApp.
Okay,
you
fine,
want it.
fine. I got it. I'll just take it up. Cool then. Okay, so code here.
Redux seems cool. Even cool. Amazing session.
You got the code there. I just pasted over the code in the live chat.
WhatsApp group.
Please.
Is there a WhatsApp group? Is it Praveen
Yes.
Science?
Yes. I'll add you, Vinayak.
Cool. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw
Okay.
this project as well, that dev internship. So
Devturnship.
I'll definitely do something in there as well.
Thanks. We can actually take you in as a mentor as well. So yeah, that
Cool.
would work.
Sounds good.
Nice.
I mean, I'm not. I haven't really. I'll be honest. Like, I haven't done much contribution in open source, but it
So this is
sounds
the
really
time.
good. Exactly. So I think it's time to get into it. Cool.
Okay.
Did I
Superb.
miss, please?
I guess that's it, right? So let's say bye to everyone then. In that case,
Okay. Yeah.
see you all.
See
Have a
you all
nice time
tomorrow.
then. Bye.
Yeah.
See you
Take
all
care.
tomorrow. Catch him. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.